Hello there and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you are watching my video, please punch the subscribe button. You will get a notification each time I upload a new video. Let us get the latest from Cameroon. We understand now that there is a consensual candidate. Issa Chiroma Bakari has been chosen by the opposition parties that came together to form a coalition. Though a few have done so, we still expect more to come to join and keep the momentum going, because it is that time when the integrity of certain political leaders will be tested. It is that time when the love for country of certain political leaders will be tested. It is that time when the patriotism of not only the political leaders but Cameroonians will be tested. That time has come when the voice of the people has been heard by God, and the plan is there to salvage them, take them out of that dungeon, that economic dungeon that the government of Mr. Biya, do you want me to say the inept government of Mr. Biya, has put Cameroon in? And therefore, it is time for those who claim that they are opposition leaders and all they want is to bring change and better the livelihood of Cameroonians. That time has come for you to show us that you mean what you say. Because we know very well that so far, the Cameroon Renaissance movement of Professor Maurice Kamto, and I'm going to tell you why Professor Maurice Kamto quickly resigned from Manidem to go back and take the command of the Cameroon Renaissance movement. He is back as president of that political outfit. The reason is very simple. He had to do so that he can freely negotiate on behalf of his political party of origin. And so now that he's back as president of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, he is negotiating on what will be given to the Cameroon Renaissance movement should they win come October 12th. And they will win. They will win because never in the history of Cameroon have we seen Cameroonians so interested in the politics of the country and also in an election. And that is why we have an unprecedented close to 8 million registered voters. In 1992, when Frundi won and his victory was stolen, we did not get up to 5 million registered voters. In 2018, the same thing. And now 2025 is going to be different. It's going to be different because Cameroonians are ready. The opposition parties are ready. But there are some that, I talk of their love for nation, their love for country, their patriotism, and they're confirming that all the time. They have been telling Cameroonians that they want change. They are opposition leaders because they want to see Cameroonians get out of the misery that the current government, the inept government of Mr. Biya, has put them in. It is that time for them to prove it. Bello Buma Maigari, Issa Chiroma Bakari had a meeting with Professor Maurice Kamto And so the Cameroon Renaissance movement, through Professor Maurice Kamto, will definitely come out to give a word to the people of Cameroon. I have told you, take it or leave it. Professor Maurice Kamto remains a sine qua non as far as change is concerned in Cameroon. He is going to play a very vital role. Listen, this man and his political outfit since 2018 have been doing a fantastic job. The man has pulled so many young people in Cameroon back into politics. They now love politics. They are ready to vote come October the 12th, and that's why they have registered. The Grand North, we have never seen the Grand North show such high degree of contempt against the government in Yaoundé. The kind of phobia, the contempt that the people of the Grand North have shown recently to the government in Yaoundé speaks volumes. It only goes to explain that they too are tired. Let us go to the west region of the country. We saw what happened in Bambutos. Jean Kwete and his cohort went there to put a gigantic image of Mr. Biya, naming an avenue, Paul Biya Avenue. What happened? The people destroyed it. A message of intent to tell them that the people no longer want them. They are not interested in having them as the people to continue managing the affairs of the country come October the 13th. The northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon are already fed up a long time ago. That is why we have the Republic of Ambazonia that has been declared by the leader of the separatist movement. That is why they have made the two regions not governable by the government in place. That is why you go there on Mondays, everywhere is ghosted. That is why, as we speak, there is a lockdown that is ongoing. That is why we saw soldiers of the country slaughtered, butchered, left in the pool of their own blood like animals, because Mr. Biya and his government, they have failed to solve a crisis that he started. And it is a pity that we have some people who style themselves. They parade themselves as political peacocks, elite of the southwest region and northwest region of Cameroon. For example, Nalova Leonga was in Fako division. We saw even PM John Gute. Nalova went there and was galvanizing the people to contribute money for the re-election bid of President Paul Biya. Yet, go to CPO, where you have the government primary school, alma mater of former Prime Minister Inoni Ephraim. Tears will run down your cheek. Go to the Petrol City, Limbe, and go to government bilingual primary school, Bona Dikombo. Near the amusement park, you will see 3 classes in one room. And what divides the space are ceiling boards. This teacher is talking, the other one is talking at the same time. The children are just confused. Yet, Nalova can galvanize and gather, mobilize the people of the division to raise millions. Not to build classrooms, not to provide didactic materials, but rather to re-elect a man who is the architect of the misfortune of the people. Now, Professor Maurice Kamto, Bello Buba Maigari, Issa Chiroma Bakari, probably Jean-Michel Ninche, the Alliance for Change, they are going to come together. And I put it to you, I don't want to call the other political parties as not parties that have any weight. No, they do. Every vote counts. But the truth about it is that with the Cameroon Renaissance movement, that was second in the last presidential election, per the result that is contested. You have Cabral Libi that came third. You have Osi Joshua Nambangi that came fourth. But you see the Grand North is the heartbeat of every politician and every political party in Cameroon. Why? Because the Grand North, the three northern regions, put forth more than 3 million registered voters every election. And therefore, the coalition has secured the Grand North. Bello Buba and Issa Chiroma, they are untouchable as far as the Grand North is concerned. Now, you have Professor Maurice Kamto, who has some pockets of the Grand North. The West region is covered. Littoral, Professor Maurice Kamto is a heavyweight, the only cock that can crow there, alongside Jean-Michel Ninche. They have pockets of the center region, and of course, the Northwest and the Southwest can never vote for Mr. Biya. Whatever you get as election results from the Northwest and the Southwest, take it from me. I have covered elections at polling stations in that region, and I can tell you that it's a charade. It's a total charade. And so it is time when love for country, patriotism, and the words that these opposition leaders have been pronouncing over the years, that they are for the people, they want to rescue Cameroonians. This is the time when all of them will be put to test by this coalition. The other time I said, I was talking about possible combinations for a coalition. I did not mention the name of Cameroon, and some followers who watch my videos got upset and said, oh, you're talking rubbish. You're talking absolutely nothing. You're not mentioning Cameroon's name means you don't know what you're saying. And I was shocked, because for someone to come out and leave such a comment without thinking, it's a shame. It's a shame, because Cameroon has been endorsed by the Univer Party, and the Univer Party is managed by Professor Nkumvondo. He is the president of that party, and he has made it categorically clear. He was on M4 TV, and he said he cannot allow his party to go into coalition with former members of government who now style themselves as opposition leaders. But to be honest, we saw it in France. Emmanuel Macron was with the government, and then he resigned and started his movement, and he won the election. So I don't think that, we all know where Issa Chiroma came from. Issa Chiroma Bakari was an opposition leader, a hardcore critic of Mr. Biya, went to prison and spent 7 years, came out, and as good as they are at manipulation, he was manipulated into joining the government, thereby putting personal interest over general interest. Now he has come back to his senses and he says he can no longer defend Mr. Biya because it's not Mr. Biya who is running the country. We know that Gongo is the one running the country. Now he is back to the Ise Chiroma we used to know, the hardcore opposition or critic of the regime. Then there is Bello Buba, who has resigned also. Professor Maurice Kamto used to be part of that government. He too resigned. You have Jean-Michel Ninche, a no-nonsense member of parliament who has always taken government ministers to task. And he formed the Alliance for Change. And he's putting his weight behind Professor Maurice Kamto. And by extension, the coalition headed by Issa Chiroma Bakari. Now, Akeremuna will have to take out some time and have a heart-to-heart conversation with Professor Nkumvondo in order to decide to join the coalition. Also, Joshua Nambangi, the SDF party that we know is not the SDF of the 90s. Even before the great Ni John Frundi passed on, the SDF was shaky. Jean-Michel Ninche, who is very powerful in the littoral region, came from the SDF party. And so, the SDF party lacks a charismatic leader. And I am not dissing O.C. Joshua Nambangi, no. The SDF party, at a given time, during when they had the election to vote somebody who was going to take over from Ni John Frundi, so many people were anticipating Zama, the guy from Limbe, because of his fierce spirit. Someone who says it as it is concerning the government. Someone who fights for the people. He resigned from the party and he's now with Akeremuna. So, the SDF is no longer the SDF we used to know. And so, it is a major test for O.C. Joshua Nambangi to prove to the people of Cameroon that all what he has been saying about wanting Cameroon to get out of the misery that it finds itself today, thanks to Mr. Biya and his collaborators, we want to see him prove it by putting his weight behind the coalition. Because being egocentric, self-centered, not minding others and thinking that you're going to beat Mr. Biya at the polls is a dream that will never come true. O.C. Joshua cannot. The first time he tried was in 2018. And newcomers like Professor Maurice Kamto and Cabral Libi crushed him. He was relegated to the 4th position. And therefore he cannot. He needs to think. Now there is Cabral Libi. We know that Cabral Libi is a guy who has great ambitions. His ego too is fat. His quest for power is at its apex. His dream is big. His belief that he can win is beyond human comprehension. But the question is, can he really beat Mr. Biya? This is the time for him to prove to Cameroonians that he loves Cameroon, that he really wants change, and that he is an opposition. By doing what? Putting his personal interest behind and putting his weight behind the coalition. Then the other political outfits with some few thousands of militants and sympathizers will join. And that is going to mark the end of the government of Mr. Biya. And we are going to dance Ona ganye, ona ganye, ona ganye, oh oh. Ganye, 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 ganye. We are going to dance it come October the 13th. But remember I told you that each time there is a coalition, there must be a proper discussion, a well carved out plan. The agenda must put the people at the center. So the agenda must rotate around the people. And then we have to see them come out together as one soldier and campaign. They have to accompany Issa Chiroma nationwide to campaign. So that the people should be sure, because skepticism has taken hostage the people of Cameroon. They are very skeptical when it comes to opposition leaders. But this time around, I got this feeling that October is going to be a good month. Inshallah, the change we are clamoring for shall come. And we will go back to our lovely Cameroon to invest and bring change. Look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. Look at what he's doing in Burkina Faso. No mores, no force. Showing that with just a little, much can be done. That is what Ibrahim Traore is proving to other African leaders. That we have enough to take care of our people, to transform our ghetto into a city. Mandela did it. Gaddafi did it. It is time.